Welcome back, everyone. Today we're diving into the dark and eerie secrets hidden behind some of the world's most famous public monuments. We walk past these places or see them in pictures and we think, oh how beautiful, or wow, so historic. But what if I told you that behind the grandeur, behind the Instagram-worthy shots, there are stories of pain, controversy, and even actual darkness? It's wild. I've always been fascinated by the idea that things aren't always what they seem, you know? Like there's this surface layer that everyone sees and then there's the truth underneath, and with these massive structures, these symbols that entire nations rally behind, the hidden stories are often even more shocking because they're so unexpected. We're talking about places that are supposed to represent hope, or achievement, or love, but when you dig just a little bit deeper, you find these cracks, these shadows that tell a completely different tale. It makes you wonder what else is out there, hidden in plain sight. So, grab your snacks, turn down the lights if you're feeling brave, because we are about to peel back the layers on some of the most iconic landmarks on the planet. I'm talking about secrets that have been buried for decades, sometimes even centuries. And trust me, after this, you might never look at these monuments the same way again. I'm already questioning everything. Are you ready? Because I'm not sure I am, but here we go. Let's get into it. Okay, so first up we have the Eiffel Tower. Paris, romance, twinkling lights, right? That's what everyone thinks. But oh my god, you guys, when I started looking into this, I was like, wait, what? Did you know that the Eiffel Tower has a dark past? And I'm not just talking about a few grumpy Parisians who didn't like it at first. So, from the get-go, the construction itself was super controversial. A lot of prominent artists and intellectuals at the time absolutely hated the idea. They called it a tragic lamppost, a gigantic black smokestack, and they even signed a petition to try and stop it from being built. Can you imagine Paris without the Eiffel Tower? It's crazy to think it almost didn't happen or that it was so despised. And then there's the actual building process. Over 300 workers, and while official records say there were very few deaths directly on site due to Gustave Eiffel's safety precautions, which were apparently ahead of their time, you still have to think about the sheer danger. Working at those heights with the technology they had back in the late 1800s, it's terrifying. But here's where it gets really dark for me. The Eiffel Tower, almost as soon as it was built, became a magnet for suicides. It's so awful to think about, but it's a documented fact. People would go to this symbol of innovation and beauty, and choose it as the place to end their lives. The height, the public nature of it, it's just heartbreaking. And the authorities had to install safety netting and barriers over the years. During World War II, when Paris was occupied by the Nazis, there's this whole chilling chapter. Hitler actually ordered the military governor of Paris, Dietrich von Koltitz, to demolish the tower, along with the rest of the city. Can you even comprehend that? The Eiffel Tower gone? Thankfully, von Koltitz didn't carry out the order, but just the fact that it was even a possibility is insane. Imagine the world without it. There are also stories about how French resistance fighters during the occupation cut the tower's lift cables. This meant that if Hitler wanted to go to the top, he would have had to climb the stairs. It's a small act of defiance, but it's also, super symbolic. The tower, even in its darkest hour, was still resisting in its own way. So yeah, the Eiffel Tower, it's beautiful, it's iconic, but it's also got this undercurrent of controversy, tragedy, and near destruction. Alright, next up, we're heading to America, to the Statue of Liberty. She's the ultimate symbol of freedom, hope, a new beginning, right? Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. It's powerful stuff. But, you guys, the Statue of Liberty hides a chilling secret. She was also intended to be a lighthouse. Yeah, a functioning lighthouse, but apparently she was really bad at it. The torch just wasn't bright enough to guide ships effectively. Before it was Liberty Island, it was called Bedloes Island. It was a military fort, Fort Wood, for a long time. So, this beacon of peace was built on a site that was all about defense and, potentially, conflict. And, similar to the Eiffel Tower, unfortunately, the Statue of Liberty has also been the site of suicides. It's so tragic. It's a really heavy thing to think about, that such a powerful symbol of life can also be associated with such profound despair for some individuals. Chapter 3. Okay, you guys, now we're going to ancient Rome, to the Colosseum. And we all know, this one is going to be intense, right? The Colosseum is known for its grandeur, but its history is filled with blood and horror. Let's explore. I'm already getting chills just thinking about what went down there. This isn't just history, it's like a monument to brutality on a scale that's hard to even comprehend. So the Colosseum, or the Flavian Amphitheater as it was originally known, was built as a gift to the Roman people. But what kind of gift is an arena designed for watching people and animals die in horrific ways? It's mind-boggling. The inaugural games alone, ordered by Emperor Titus, lasted for 100 days. Can you imagine 100 straight days of slaughter? It's estimated that thousands of animals and gladiators died during that opening period. And the gladiatorial combats, that's what everyone thinks of. Men forced to fight to the death for the entertainment of the masses. Some were slaves, some were prisoners of war, some were even volunteers, which is a whole other level of messed up. But the sheer brutality, the injuries, the fear, it's almost impossible to truly picture what that must have been like. The roar of the crowd, the smell of blood and sand. It's nightmare fuel. But it wasn't just gladiators. They also held these insane animal hunts called venationes. They would import exotic animals from all over the empire, lions, tigers, elephants, bears, rhinos, and then they'd be hunted and killed in the arena. Sometimes the animals would fight each other, sometimes they'd fight gladiators. It was a display of Rome's power over nature, but it was also just senseless slaughter. So many species were driven to extinction in parts of the empire because of this. And then there were the public executions. Damnatio ad bestias, condemnation to beasts. Criminals, prisoners of war, and eventually early Christians, were thrown to wild animals to be torn apart in front of 50,000 cheering spectators. Can you even process that? It's beyond barbaric, it's like a state-sanctioned horror show. Chapter 4. Okay, so for this next one, we're looking at Mount Rushmore. It's like this giant, iconic American landmark carved into the side of a mountain. Washington, Jefferson, Roosevelt, Lincoln, symbols of American democracy and history. But you guys, Mount Rushmore has a sinister side. The land it's built on is sacred to the Lakota Sioux, guaranteed by the Treaty of Fort Laramie in 1868, but gold was discovered, the treaty was broken, and the Lakota were forcibly removed. So, the mountain is essentially stolen land, and the sculptor Gutzon Borglum had ties to the Ku Klux Klan. He was involved in planning a Confederate memorial funded by the KKK. It makes you question the spirit behind the monument. Was it truly about celebrating American ideals, or was there a more nationalistic, even white supremacist undertone? It's deeply disturbing to think about. Chapter 5. Alright, for our final monument, we're going to India to the Taj Mahal. It's universally known as this incredible symbol of love, right? Built by the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan in memory of his favorite wife Mumtaz Mahal. It's breathtakingly beautiful. A UNESCO World Heritage Site. One of the new 7 wonders of the world. But there's a haunting story behind it. The most famous dark legend is that Shah Jahan had the hands of the craftsmen cut off after its completion, or that he had them blinded to ensure they could never build anything as beautiful again. Historians largely debunk this myth. There's no real historical evidence to support it, but the fact that this story persists tells you something. It speaks to this idea of possessive, obsessive love, a love so intense that it becomes destructive. Even if it's not true, the legend itself casts a dark shadow over the monument's romantic image. It makes the love story feel a little less pure, a little more sinister. Wow, okay, so that was a lot. My mind is actually kind of blown right now. We've journeyed through Paris, New York, Rome, South Dakota, and India, and uncovered some seriously dark and unsettling truths behind these world-famous monuments. From stolen land and KKK connections at Mount Rushmore, to the bloody legacy of the Colosseum, and the tragic undertones of the Taj Mahal and Eiffel Tower, it's clear that these iconic structures have histories far more complex and frankly disturbing than most of us ever imagined. It really makes you think, doesn't it? These monuments are symbols, yes, but they're symbols built by humans, with all our flaws, our ambitions, our capacity for both incredible creation and terrible cruelty. And I think it's important to remember that, to look beyond the postcard image and understand the full story, even the uncomfortable parts. Because history, even the dark parts, has so much to teach us. It makes you wonder what other secrets are out there, hidden in plain sight, just waiting to be uncovered. I'm already thinking about what we could dive into next. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, and if it made you think, or if you're now slightly terrified of your next tourist trip, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more spine-chilling content. Let me know in the comments which monument shocked you the most, or if there are any others you want me to investigate. Seriously, your suggestions help so much. Stay safe out there and always